Listen carefully. This isn't comfort. This isn't motivation. This is cold truth, stripped bare, sharpened by centuries of power and precision, whispered by men who understood what it takes to rule in a world that respects only strength. You've been fed lies since the day you could walk. They told you to be humble, to wait your turn, to play fair. They told you that patience, kindness, and hope would somehow earn you power. But power doesn't wait. Power doesn't care. The world doesn't crown the quiet dreamer. It devours him. It bends him. And when he finally realizes the game was never fair, it's already too late. Look around you. Every man you see standing at the top, every king, every general, every silent wolf at the head of the pack, they didn't ask for permission. They didn't wait for someone to validate them. They didn't care about being understood. They cared about one thing: dominion, first over themselves, then over everything else. Self-focus builds kings. Discipline sharpens their crowns. And silence is their sharpest weapon. A man who can control his tongue controls his kingdom. A man who controls his emotions controls the room. A man who controls his hunger becomes untouchable, because nothing can be used against him. Understand this. The man who masters his impulses, his emotions, his hunger, becomes more than just a man. He becomes a weapon the world fears, a force that can't be predicted, a mind no one can manipulate, a presence that bends others without raising his voice. From this second forward, burn this phrase into your mind. Don't just think it, own it, comment it below so it carves itself into your psyche. I build myself, I rule my world. Every empire begins with a fortress. That fortress is you. Brick by brick, forged in pain, hardened by focus, expanded by discipline. You are not here to chase. You are not here to beg. You are here to build in silence until the world has no choice but to notice the empire rising around you. This is the beginning, the moment you choose to stop existing and start becoming. Comment it now, and let that be your first step toward the man you were meant to become. I build myself. I rule my world. Power speaks loudest when your mouth stays closed. Understand this. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. In a world addicted to noise, where men expose their every thought, every fear, every insecurity, the man who stays quiet becomes a ghost. And ghosts are terrifying. When you speak less, you reveal less. When you reveal less, they guess. And when they guess, you control the game. Every king understands this. The moment you speak carelessly, you hand over your leverage. Words are currency, and every cheap word you spend makes you poorer in the economy of power. When you cultivate silence, when you speak only when precision demands it, you become unreadable. And unreadable men are dangerous men. Machiavelli taught that men are simple creatures eager to believe. When you stay silent, you let them build their own stories about you. They fear what they can't define. They respect what they can't control. This is why silence is lethal. It builds mystique. It creates tension. It forces the world to lean in closer, to try and decode you, while you remain unshaken, unreadable, untouchable. And when you do speak, every word cuts like a blade. Every syllable carries weight. Every sentence shifts the room. Type this below to claim it as your law. My silence is my shield. My actions are my sword. Remember this. In the chessboard of life, the quiet player owns the board. Listen closely. The world does not reward kindness. It rewards calculation, precision. The man who studies the board like a predator, seeing 10 moves ahead while everyone else is distracted by emotion, impulse, and noise. Most men fail because they are weak. They are obsessed with validation. They want to be liked, admired, accepted. They want to be everyone's friend, and in that desperation, they expose their throat to the blade. Understand this. In the game of power, hesitation is death. Mercy is a luxury, and luxury belongs only to kings. You do not get to be merciful until your fortress is built so high, so unshakable, that your mercy carries weight. Until men understand that your forgiveness is a gift, and that gifts can be taken back. Machiavelli wrote the law centuries ago. It is safer to be feared than loved. Love drifts with the wind. Fear is anchored deep. Fear makes men hesitate before they even think of crossing you. Fear keeps your throne untouched. Respect built on fear is stronger, cleaner, more enduring than the fragile loyalty bought by kindness. But do not mistake ruthlessness for chaos. Chaos is the domain of the weak, men ruled by anger, flailing blindly until they destroy themselves. True ruthlessness is cold precision. It is the art of knowing exactly when to strike and exactly how hard. The ruthless man does not waste energy on anger. He doesn't react to whispers or insults. He doesn't explain himself. He moves with deliberate control. When action is required, it is swift, final, absolute. And when silence serves him better, he waits, calm, patient, unreadable. That is what separates rulers from the ruled, the discipline to act without hesitation and the wisdom to remain still when the timing is not yet perfect. If someone threatens your progress, you don't debate, you don't justify, you remove them, cleanly, decisively, without emotion. If someone disrespects your position, you don't beg for acknowledgement. You command it, not through noise, but through quiet, undeniable action that speaks louder than words ever could. Calculated ruthlessness is power. It is the refusal to let emotions dictate your moves. It is the mastery of patience, the mastery of timing, the mastery of yourself. Burn this into your mind. Type it below so it becomes your law. I move with precision. I strike with purpose. Because the truth is simple. Men who hesitate become pawns. Men who act, cold and deliberate, build empires. Power doesn't belong to the strongest man in the room. It belongs to the calmest, the man who feels everything but shows nothing. The one who can stand in the storm and not blink. Most men are slaves to their emotions. They lash out when angry. They crumble when afraid. They beg when desperate. And the world, ruthless and unfeeling, uses those emotions like chains to control them. But you are not most men. Emotional mastery is the highest form of power. When you control your emotions, you control your actions. When you control your actions, you control your outcomes. And when you control your outcomes, you control your reality. Anger, fear, desperation. These are signals, not commands. Weak men obey them. Strong men observe them, analyze them, and then act with surgical precision. Machiavelli wrote that men are ruled by their passions. The king, however, rules over his own. And because of that, he rules over everyone else. Your silence in chaos makes you dangerous. Your calm in conflict makes you unpredictable. And unpredictability is the currency of absolute power. When they try to provoke you, stay still. When they try to shake you, remain unmoved. Let them drown in their own noise while you sharpen your strategy. Write this below and make it your command. I own my emotions. They do not own me. The man who masters himself doesn't just survive, he dominates. Attachment is the silent chain that keeps men weak. The moment you need someone, something, or somewhere to feel whole, you have handed over your power. That chain, invisible but unbreakable, keeps you small, keeps you predictable, keeps you controlled. Controlled detachment is not apathy, it is strategy. It is the ability to care without need, to engage without dependence, to invest without surrender. It is knowing that everything, people, positions, possessions, can vanish in an instant, and you will remain unshaken. Men who cling are easy to manipulate. They are predictable. They telegraph every move because they are desperate to hold on to what they fear losing, and in that desperation they give others leverage that will be used against them. But the man who is detached, the man who could walk away at any moment from anyone, from anything, that man is dangerous because nothing owns him, nothing controls him, nothing can be used to break him. Understand this. Detachment does not mean living without emotion. It means refusing to let emotion dictate your choices. It means being able to step back, observe the board, and make decisions based on logic, not weakness. Every connection you make, every alliance you build, every deal you agree to, it must serve your greater purpose. If it doesn't, you cut it loose. No hesitation, no apology. Machiavelli understood this truth centuries ago. Kings who trusted too much, who loved too blindly, who tied their crowns to people or passions, they fell. Not because they lacked strength, but because they allowed emotion to become a liability. You can have loyalty. You can have alliances. You can even have love. But you never build your throne on unstable ground. You never let anyone or anything become the reason for your strength. Detach strategically. Build your empire with clarity. Move with discipline. And when the time comes to walk away, walk with your head high and your power intact. Repeat this now. Type it below so it burns into your mind. I am the asset. I never chase. I choose. Because that is the reality. You are the prize. You are the foundation. Everything around you, people, opportunities, resources, flows because of the power you hold. Never forget that. Controlled detachment is not just freedom, it is dominance. It is the ability to remain calm when others crumble. It is the quiet strength that makes people lean toward you, not because you need them, but because they know you can live without them. And that is where true power begins. Power is never given. It is taken, built, and maintained through leverage. Every interaction, every relationship, every negotiation is a game of power dynamics. The man who understands leverage doesn't just play the game, he owns the board. Leverage is influence. It's control without noise. It's the quiet pressure that bends people without them realizing they're being bent. And here's the truth. You either hold leverage or you are leverage for someone else. Weak men give it away. They reveal too much. They rely too heavily. They speak too freely. And in doing so, they hand over the very control they need to keep. The strategic man, he builds leverage before he ever needs it. He invests in himself, his mind, his resources, his network, until his presence alone shifts the balance in any room he enters. He understands that power isn't about aggression, it's about positioning. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince anticipates every shift, every betrayal, every opportunity. He never waits for chance to dictate his fate. He creates the conditions where others have no choice but to align with him. To build leverage, you must master 3 things. Information, know more than they think you do. Knowledge is the sharpest blade. Resources, build independence so you're never forced into compromise. Positioning, be so strategically placed that even your silence carries weight. Leverage is why calm men win. It's why the one who waits, observes, and calculates eventually controls the tempo of every interaction. And here's the brutal truth. Leverage is power, and power respects strength. If you want to dominate in life, you must create undeniable value. So undeniable that when you enter the room, every dynamic shifts in your favor. Write this below and claim it. I create leverage. I control the game. Remember, kings don't ask. Kings don't beg. Kings build systems where the world bends around them. Power isn't just what you do, it's what they feel when you enter the room. An untouchable presence is built long before anyone ever sees you. It is the sum of your discipline, your silence, your mastery, and your control. It's not about noise, bravado, or proving yourself. It's about existing as a force, calm, deliberate, undeniable. People are drawn to strength they don't understand. They sense when a man is focused, sharp, and detached from the chaos they drown in daily. That stillness, that composure, demands respect before you ever say a word. Machiavelli understood this. Power is perception as much as reality. If they believe you are unstoppable, you are. If they believe you cannot be broken, you won't be. Because perception shapes their behavior before they even test your limits. To build that presence, start with 3 pillars. Discipline. Every action, every word, every move reflects control. Chaos has no place in your world. Minimalism in energy. Speak less, move less, do only what is necessary, but do it with precision. Every wasted gesture erodes the weight of your presence. Consistency. Power is built in repetition. Your habits, your routines, your standards, they are the silent proof that you are a man of structure and strength. When you walk into a room, speak through your energy before your mouth ever opens. Confidence without arrogance, calm without apathy. The quiet intensity of a man who knows exactly who he is, exactly where he's going, and exactly what he will or will not tolerate. They will test you. Let them. Never react, never flinch. Every second you remain still while others seek chaos adds to your legend. Write this now to cement it in your mind. I am the storm they can't predict. I am the presence they can't ignore. Remember, your presence should be so sharp that even in silence they know you are not to be underestimated. Power is not only built in action, it is won in the mind. Psychological warfare is the quiet art of control. It's about shaping the battlefield long before the first move is made. The greatest men in history didn't conquer with strength alone. They conquered by bending perception, by turning the minds of others into their weapons. Understand this, people are predictable. Their fears, their desires, their weaknesses, they are patterns waiting to be read and exploited. The man who sees these patterns holds invisible strings, pulling them without ever being seen. The first law of psychological dominance: control the frame. Whoever controls the frame controls the reality. If you define the terms, you define the game. Speak with certainty, act with precision, and never allow their emotions to dictate your direction. Second, weaponize unpredictability. Predictability breeds comfort. Comfort breeds disrespect. When they can't read you, they fear you. When they fear you, they respect you. Machiavelli said it clearly: a man who cannot be anticipated cannot be controlled. Third, make silence your ally. In every conversation, in every negotiation, the one who can hold silence the longest holds the power. People reveal their intentions in silence. They expose their fears. They give you the leverage you need to control the narrative. And lastly, mirror and redirect. Learn to reflect emotions back without absorbing them. Anger, fear, desperation, let it bounce off you like steel. When you control your own mind, you control theirs. Psychological warfare is not about chaos, it is about precision. It is about bending reality until your will becomes law, until others willingly move in the direction you choose. Comment this below and claim it as your creed. I master perception. I command reality. Because here's the truth: wars are won in silence, long before the first strike. Power is never static. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. The moment you believe you've arrived, you've already begun to fall. Relentless self-evolution is the foundation of untouchable power. Every day, you sharpen the blade, your mind, your body, your strategy. You understand that the man you were yesterday is already obsolete today. Machiavelli wrote that a wise ruler adapts to the times. The same principle applies to you. The world is in constant motion, and if you don't evolve, you become prey to men who do. Adaptation is survival. Growth is dominance. Build yourself in layers. Mind. Consume knowledge like a weapon. Read what others ignore. Study strategy, psychology, history, philosophy. Knowledge turns chaos into opportunity. Body. Discipline your flesh. A strong body reinforces a strong mind. Weakness in form is weakness in execution. Your presence should speak before your words do. Skill, power respects competence. Learn relentlessly. Refine your craft until you're untouchable in your field. Character, ruthless integrity, unshakable discipline. Standards so high they carve you into a man others cannot duplicate. This is the quiet war you fight every day. Against comfort, against stagnation, against the version of you that still thinks like prey. Remember this: power compounds. Every book you read, every hour you train, every skill you build, it stacks brick by brick until the man in the mirror is unrecognizable from the one who started. Repeat this in the comments to anchor it into your mind. I evolve relentlessly. I am never the same man twice. Because kings aren't born, they are built. Built in silence, built in discipline, built in an unending pursuit of the next level. This is the line in the sand. From this moment forward, you don't just hear these words, you become them. You don't wait for opportunity, you create it. You don't hope for power, you build it. quietly, ruthlessly, relentlessly. Understand this. The man who masters himself becomes a law unto himself. He bends reality, not because the world allows it, but because he has forged himself into someone the world cannot deny. Every principle you've absorbed here, self-focus, strategic silence, calculated ruthlessness, emotional mastery, controlled detachment, leverage, presence, psychological warfare, relentless evolution, they are not suggestions. They are commands. The weak will keep waiting. They will keep talking. They will keep dreaming. You are not one of them. You are the architect now. The storm. The quiet force that reshapes the room, the table, the game itself. And when they question you, when they doubt you, let them. They will understand soon enough. Your actions will echo louder than anything they could ever say. So type it now. Make it permanent. I rise. I dominate. I do not wait. This is not about being liked. It is not about being understood. It is about being untouchable. About becoming the man they cannot predict, cannot control, cannot break. This is your moment. Burn the hesitation. Embrace the cold precision of a mind built for war. Forge the discipline of a king. Stand so firm in your own power that the world has no choice but to adjust itself around you. Now, if these words cut through the noise, if they've carved themselves into your mind, do what kings do. Command attention, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let the world know you've stepped into the circle few dare to enter.